Welcome to another episode of Chicago Talks. I am your host, Ray, and I am joined today by someone very special, Audacious Don. Yes.
Hey!
She is from Chicago, and she is a phenomenal spoken word artist performer. She's a self-published author and the founder of Audacious Artistry, LLC, and a nonprofit organization creating spaces for creative healing and corporation. Creating Space for Creative Healing, Inc. is also known as CS4CH, which gives back to the community with this arts and healing workshop that is meant to provide a safe space for adults who lack access to medicine, therapy, and healthy coping mechanisms. It's an opportunity to vent about trauma, abuse, mental health, and other physical and emotional issues. This workshop also has a curriculum every month providing free resources for health, creative and therapeutic activities to reduce stress and provide a safe space to vent openly. After years of performing her astounding poetry, Audacious Don continues to share tense and mind-blowing poetry pieces, moving everyone she encounters. This is a special episode, you feel me? Because she's one of the poetry fams, and I finally got her here.
Yes, I know, right?
Yeah. It's been long awaited. I've waited for this conversation. It's been like
me too.
It's been like a month.
We here now.
Yeah, for sure. But how have you been though? Like, what's been going on?
Man, I've been having some different projects in place, but I've been just balancing what's more important. So lately, I've been really deep in my community that I created online. So it's kind of like a breakaway from like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or just, some places that's online that got a lot of drama or just, news, things like that. And we just strictly about healing. And it's been great. Like the people that I got up in there, like some of them are from my workshop. And I just love how, even when I might be feeling down, they'll lift me back up. So it's been really nice. Like one of the last things we were talking about was Try Day Friday, something my daughter made up. Mm-hmm. And that's when you try something new. So it was nice sharing what my daughter taught me, and she's only 7, but sharing that with the community too. So it was nice.
That's nice. But I'm happy for you though. And I'm proud of you too, girl, because healing is necessary in this community for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of different coping mechanisms. And some people tend to fall into the more negative, the drinking, the smoking, things that are temporary, Yep. But yours is more like a permanent thing where it's that consistency of being creative just to let everything flow out how it should be.
Yes.
So I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what year did you find CS4CH, and what was the event or thought that occurred before it became to be?
Man, so we started CS4CH, you see, we in March. We started 2 years ago with the actual poetry writing workshop and open mic. And it wasn't until, I think it was either that year or the year after, because I kept thinking okay, I feel like there's something going more on with this. This is becoming something bigger than just a workshop and just an open mic. Because of the healing and because of the poetry. So at some point I got to the point and I said, you know what, this has to be a nonprofit. Even though I originally started my LLC a few years ago, I think back in 2021 is when I started it. And with that was just strictly just me as an artist. That was just an Audacious Don type thing. But I felt like I wanted it to be more community oriented. I didn't want it to be about me. I wanted it to be about them. So when I made CS4CH and then made it a nonprofit, it just all just came together. I just knew okay, this is something that people could actually, be a part of. They can actually get resources. And I realized too, me doing it alone as an artist, mm-hmm. It's been so hard, applying for grants, everything that I do at the library is just all me, it's hands-on. And even though and sometimes it could be stressful, but it's so rewarding when I see how happy everybody is that they learning new things. And it's I keep telling them every month, I'm y'all keep me going. Y'all keep me going. Y'all showing up keeps me going. And it just be so fun. It's so fun. It's so worth it.
What's been the biggest turnout that you had so far?
The biggest turnout? Man, I remember I feel like more people, to be honest, they come for the open mic more than they do the workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that because it takes a lot of courage and vulnerability and honesty to say you need help. So I know a lot of the things that I talk about in there, it could be, it could be uncomfortable to some people. And then for some people, it's like, no, I need to hear this. This is right on time. So when it comes to the open mic, man, we done had like we didn't get past the fire code, thank goodness. But we was close. We was close to the fire code, which is like around 50. So it was like 40-ish people that came up in there one time. And it was really nice. Oh, it was dope. It was so dope.
That's beautiful.
It was so dope.
Well, actually, that kind of ties to the next question. So, how was the first workshop session for you when you saw your vision come true?
The first time, oh man, I remember it. So when we first started, I had this little tapestry that had like, it looked like the galaxy, which is a whole bunch of stars in outer space. Mm-hmm. And before I was able to even afford to get the CS4CH backdrop that you see at like some open mics or some events or whatever, that's what we had. So I remember having that. I remember the shirt that I had on. It was one of the shirts that I made at home. No, I'm lying. I didn't make it at home. I designed it at home and then I ordered it online. And it said mind over matter. And my husband, he actually designed it. So he designed it. I gave him the idea. He drew it. He illustrated it. And I just remember like seeing all the different people that was coming in there, the activities that I was holding. It was so fun. Like we had this ABC game where you go back and forth in a conversation. So like whatever we talking about, you have to say whatever letter of the alphabet we talking about.
Oh my God.
It was so tense because like the audience got to pick. They picked that the place they are in the mall. One of the guys, it was two guys. One of them, two of them are spoken word artists actually, and they have one of them. He hosts spoken word events, and then the other one he has his own open mic as well. And so the audience said one of them is going to be a thief, and the other one is going to be the mailman. And like you can just imagine the conversation was crazy, especially like when it got to letters like Z and Q and X. Like people kept saying zebra a couple of times when we had that. They said xylophone. I'm like, y'all really don't know. But it was fun, and the purpose of that activity was to learn how to, under the pressure, be creative without judging yourself. Just to have fun, not to always have to sit down and plan and write it so perfect, but just to like have a fun freestyle challenge that's like, it shows you another skill you might have that you don't know you have.
For sure. Have you had anybody come back to you to tell you like their testimony after having that opportunity to be in one of your workshops?
Yes. I had one girl, she actually wrote me down. She wrote it like on the index card. I don't even know where she even got that card from, but she just had it with her, and she came to the workshop, but she had to leave soon before she could get on the open mic. I think she said she had to go to class or something. And so when she wrote me something, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till I get some time so I can really sit down and receive whatever she probably said. And man, she was. I gotta make sure I'm remember to keep people's name anonymous, but. This young girl, she told me she's in school and she really appreciated everything that I was talking about in the workshop because it's a lot of things that she's going through that, she could be like, I'm trying not to put words into her mouth to remember what she said, but she was just saying like how much of an impact that was of me sharing the things that I've learned. And I know one thing she said that I've heard a few people say this before, but she said that she really loves my light. Like I have a light about me that I bring. And I was just like, she almost made me cry, low-key. She almost made me cry. And she just told me, to text her or email her and reach out to her because she really want to come back, but it's still conflicting with her schedule. So, it's people like her that I realize it's like, man, like people really want to get this opportunity, but it conflicts with their schedule. And that was the whole reason why I even came up with the online community. So it could be free for anybody to be able to join, or at least more accessible for those who, it's free for now, but at some point, monthly, it is a payment, but even with that, it's still on sale. Like it does not cost that much to be a part of it. So that's why I be telling y'all, join now. The first 50 people.
For sure. They better tap in.
Right, tap in, because it's filling up. It is filling up.
Okay, big. Because I be wanting to go to like different workshops and stuff, because I know, I want to say her name right. Shakira.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Because I be messing up her name too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call
That's my girl. That's my girl.
Because I know she be having one. I think hers is like in the hundreds, I believe.
Well, she got her own. Oh yeah. She used to have her own at one location I used to go to. It was like about 75th somewhere on the east side. But I know, she did move to another location.
Yeah. Cause she kind of close to me, so I be wanting to go to like different workshops and stuff. And I know I saw you have one once at like the Carter G. Woodson Library, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I'm like, dang, bro, like I need to go to one of these workshops, cause I've never been to one of them, so it's like, well, any for that matter. I just want to, experience that just to see like, well, how does that feel? Just to be around other people who want to, heal or just utilize their creativity. And come up with something. Whatever it is that they're going through, they just turn it into art,
Yes.
Yeah. When the next one?
So the next one is going to be March 31st, and it's going to be at Legler Regional Library. So 115 South Pulaski, or basically Madison and Pulaski. It's the same area. And from 4 to 7:30. So like the workshop is from 4 to 5. And then we have like an intermission, and then from 5:30 to 7:30 is the actual open mic, the poetry open mic.
Okay. So
we're gonna be talking about. Oh, I meant to tell you. Oh wait, go ahead.
So within the workshop, do y'all create the poems and then recite them for the open mic, or like how does that go? No.
So what we do? So every month I come up with a theme. So last month was thirsty. So we was learning how to be thirsty about getting our motivation back after we go through a downfall. When we're going through like a drought, metaphorically.
No,
But this month we about to be talking about. So the title, and it's always an exclamation point title. Like it's like the healing and the urgency to heal is like yelling at you. Like it's calling you. We're gonna be talking about. It's called Hard Choices, Big Rewards.
That's a go.
Yeah, and it's like every time I come up with a title, like I always pray and ask God, like, okay, give me something good, because as of lately, I've been doing like more replays of previous themes that we talked about in the workshop at first, because I'm like, okay, some people they didn't get to see this, so let me bring back something old school or whatever, and it's still fairly new since we just started about 2 years ago. But I was like, okay, whatever I go through, that usually end up being the title. So I don't just be making stuff up.
Right.
Like I literally be going through these things, and like I feel like that's what makes it so impactful, because I'm talking about experience. I be in my workshops like full on honesty, sharing stuff that they be like, she just told all her business, and I'm like, yes, I'm telling all my business because I came a long way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of it is like, me telling you as a guest, my past. This is where I came from. These are the skills I applied. This is what's happening for me now. So then you could at least see like, okay, man, she really went through this and it's working for her. And you can even see it in my poetry books. The things that I wrote in one book from a long time ago is not the way that I write poetry now. So it's even in black and white how much I've like grown and changed from combining prayer, therapy, and poetry.
Oh, for sure. I like that.
Yeah.
Girl. That's why I love poetry, because it brings so many people together. Like anybody can write, but it's just when you write from a perspective of like what you feel internally or what you're going through, because some people may not have others that will listen to their situations, or they don't want to burden somebody else, but having like that healthy outlet, that's important.
Yes.
It's better than just like trying to deal with things in a negative way, because it's only temporary healing. Like you need something that's going to be permanent, that's going to be that consistent thing, because you like journaling is one of them, but poetry itself is just the language. Poetry is a language itself. It's an art itself, and just being able to use that itself. Yes, that's why I'm in love with poetry so much, and I love that it's like in me, and then just seeing others being able to do it as well, even those who like our first time writers or first time poets and going to open mics, and I'm listening to people who've never done open mics or have never done slam poetry, but you can feel the emotion that they are saying at that time, and it's like, bro, this is beautiful and it's crazy at the same time.
It is. It's like the best storyteller. That's how I feel.
For sure it is. But what was you about to say before?
Oh yeah, just going back on like what I said about experiences. So like, for example, to piggyback on what you said about, you handle things in temporary ways compared to when you can handle things in a, more, I'm not gonna, like a more long-term effect. Like you actually get long-term evidence, like proof that, oh, this is working. So like, even for me, I remember one of the times I was expressing to, the guest that was there, I was like, I forgot what topic it was. We was talking about basically getting overwhelmed. We was talking about being overwhelmed. And during that month's topic. And I said, it used to be times where I would be in the workshop with y'all, do the open mic, I'm smiling, I'm happy, I'm like, woo, good times. And then when I go home, I feel like I need some wine. And I'm like, that's something that's not adding up about that. It's like, if I know I truly enjoy what I do, why would I feel like I need to drink? And then not just that one time, but it's like, dang, now like I really want to drink. And what I learned about that is that if we don't, even with, it don't matter if it's something you love, if you're not creating those boundaries or creating that space for you to really relax and wind down and take care of yourself, anything that you put yourself into is gonna turn into a burden. And so it really took a lot of honesty to let them know, like, because I tell everybody that come up in there, like, look, I'm up here, I'm a founder, but I'm a human. I'm not a certified therapist, I'm a certified human being. So anything I tell you, I am not perfect. Like, I have my own things that I struggle with too. And that's why I love the fact that it's a community. Like, we're healing together. Like, I'm not sitting here to teach you things. I'm here to share with you what I'm learning. And I feel like you deserve to know the truth too, or you deserve to learn some things that could possibly help you better than they're helping me. So
transparency is a big thing. Like, some people can be like motivational speakers or whatever the case may be, but they don't really be transparent about the stuff that they go through. Like, they mask it like they're all happy people and blah, blah, blah. And behind closed doors, it's like, you're miserable inside. But even though, they may feel that way, however, their mission is to just make sure other people don't feel the same way that they do. But are able to like speak about what happened to you and how you became to be who you are now. It's like people trust you, because now they see you as like, okay, now I can come to this person, maybe if I have an issue, and we can maybe discuss it, or they can recommend me different ways of how to do this and how to express myself more, or just anything along those lines. And it's like, we humans, we all feel something, but some people just don't like to express it or show it. They just like to, keep a still face, but internally they be hurting, bro. Like, and they be sad.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Can't do that. That's not healthy. With that segue, what was your welcoming factor within writing and performing poetry, and when did you discover its healing properties?
Okay. So, funny story. When I was little, like 7th grade, let me see, I was probably like around 13 years old. I've been dealing with bullying, but because my mom, like, we kept transferring schools because her job would change, or we would move to a new house and things like that. So, I wasn't really staying in a lot of schools that often. And I was shy. Like, I know a lot of people be thinking I'm lying that I'm still shy. I'm shy. I just choose who to be with. I would never. I could never think that. I know. Right. So it's like I choose who I be like this with, and but it was getting really hard for me, especially in that age. Like, you starting to care what people think, and then you getting ready for high school. So it was really taking a toll on me. And my mom, knowing that I was dealing with a particular bully at that time, she asked me to write what I would say to them. And so I was like, okay, cool. So she gave me a book, and I wrote something down. And I'm like, I'm just writing. Like, I didn't have no prompt or nothing. Like, I just wrote what I felt, what I would say to them. And then the few people that I was close to, I always had like one best friend and like a whole bunch of associates. I shared it with them. And they was like, man, this sounds good. We like it. I was like, oh, for real? like, okay, cool. So, I was always writing, and it was one day that was real deep. One day I was writing in this same book, and we had a assembly preparation thing or whatever for the 7th and the 8th graders. So now I'm surrounded by all of the students, and my teacher thought I was just writing notes, but I was just writing in my poetry book. And she took my poetry book and threw it in the garbage in front of everybody.
The disrespect.
And but I didn't. So I sat there and I cried in front of everybody. I did not get up. I was scared to get up. Even after she left, she stepped out for a minute. People on the left and right of me, they'll say, go ahead, get your book. And I was like, no, my face was down. I'm like, no, she threw my book away. It's over with. And it took one of the boys that was in the class. He wasn't even nobody I was cool with, nothing like that. He was one of the popular goofy dudes, always cracking jokes or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like, man, fine, I'll go get it. And he got it for me. And it's I always share that story with people because I realized my poetry writing could have stopped then. Mm-hmm. That was my first book. And funny thing, this is a book right here.
Oh, you still got it?
I still got it. And it got duct tape, it's wore out. It's wore out.
Cause some people don't keep their stuff from years ago.
Yeah, it can be hard to keep this stuff. I've been holding on to this for a very long time, but I've noticed the way it affected people around me. I noticed that when I was writing and I shared with certain people, they told me they related to it, the kids, obviously, because I wasn't really sharing it with nobody else yet. Mm-hmm. And then I would share it with my family. I would bug them with it. And, they told me, oh, you got a gift. You talented like your dad, Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until, honestly, I got older and I went to my first open mic where I actually got on the stage. Because I've been to a few open mics, but I went to this one particular one on the south side. It was on Garfield. It was called Clio Center. Keep loving each other. And I felt like I found my tribe. I found my people. And even though I was shy, I didn't make no friends there like that, I wanted to, but it was still okay. But that was my first time memorizing a poem and getting on the stage. And once I felt how everybody felt that poem, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. This is it. I gotta keep doing this.
Yeah, damn. That's a powerful story though.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you, just imagine if you would have stopped writing poetry, where do you think you would be right now?
Oh, I don't even know. Honestly, I can't even imagine. I feel like there was a point in my life where I did stop writing though, to be honest. And I did not like how that was. So if I would have completely had let it go, honestly, it did lead to me being depressed, having anxiety. I felt like that's where a lot of the mental issues, mental health issues I had started to arise because I wasn't using anything to let out a lot of that stuff I was going through. Right. So it's so if I didn't have no way of writing poetry, because I've tried, how you said, journaling too. I've tried that too. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't hitting like that. It just wasn't really doing it for me like that. I felt like I was just writing and complaining. Right. Complaining and wishing for things. Uh-huh. But it's something about when I was writing poetry, I was able to write hope in it. I was able to, paint a story. Yeah. Even if I made it seem like it wasn't my story and make it inanimate or make it seem like I'm talking about an object or somebody else, it still just felt good secretly sharing what I was going through. Yeah. And then finding out I'm not alone when I share it with people.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Because I know where I would be if I didn't write poetry. I discovered it, but I didn't know what it was until maybe I got older. But I was just in the kitchen just randomly, and I was just writing something. And I was writing a few different ones, but I really remember one that I titled it Ugly, but it was an acronym. It was for Uniquely Beautiful, Lively, and Young. And I was just writing. And then I showed my mom. I showed my mom, and she was like, this is actually good. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. I'm just sitting here just going away, not knowing what I'm doing. I'm just writing. I'm like, okay. And I wasn't really thinking about like, oh, what to say. It was just like coming from nowhere. The conversations I've had with different people when they talk about poetry is like, I tell people all the time, it's literally embedded in my DNA. Like, it's not something that just like, oh, I picked it up and it just happened. Like, in a way it kind of did, but at the same time it's like when you got something, you just got it. Like when people say it's in you, not on you, like it's really in me. Like that's crazy, because it's crazy. Like years after, I had found one of my mom's old notebooks and I'm looking through it, I'm like, she write poetry or she wrote poetry. I'm like, this is crazy.
What? That's so dope. You know, I just found that out about my mom, that she used to write poetry, but she just now told me this.
Wow.
And it's like, I'm 34, she's 62. I'm like, you just now telling me this, and I've been writing since I told you I've been writing.
That's probably why she told you that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. Why they be keeping stuff from us?
I know, right? All these secrets.
So, who is Audacious Don, and what pizzazz makes up her qualities?
So before Audacious Don was born, not just playing. So funny story. That wasn't my first poetry name. I actually had another poetry name. The first one. This is my second one. The first one was Simply Unique. And I just interchanged like the letters. So instead of S-I, it was S-Y. And then M-P-L-I, then capital U-N-Y-Q. So it was Simply Unique. And I came up with, well, I didn't really come up with that. My mom used to just keep calling me that. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to make that my name. Yay. And because I just wanted to do something kind of dope. But Audacious Don came during college time. Oh, college. I came out of college. Because back then, that's when I, even though I was freestyling and rapping when I was in 7th and 8th grade, like I used to like do freestyle battles like with the boys and stuff. Because I was a little tomboy. I still am. Yeah, I was a little spiteful monster.
I actually caught one of, I think it was live that you did on Instagram. I caught one of them one day. I'm like, hold on, wait, she could spit like for real.
Oh, you
like,
heard
I know
it too.
You can spit. But I'm like,
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so like, you know, I caught myself saying back then with Audacious Don was, the whole idea was bold leader. Even though I didn't know later that audacious also means arrogant. So I was like, well, I mean, you know, question mark. But I'm like, I can't deny it. It was times that I was feeling big-headed about myself. But I definitely, it was supposed to mean bold leader, to be able to just, you know, be like, the idea was like that guy, what's his name? The Italian dude that be sitting at the end of the table and he got the cat on his lap and he rubbing the cat and he says, you come to my daughter's wedding. So that's what the Don part was. And I like cats, so, you know, it made sense. So, yeah, that's where that came from, you know, a bold leader.
Okay. I like that, though.
Thank you.
I wasn't expecting the last part, but yeah.
I know.
Thank you, though. So, something that's an important question and factor I like to ask people a lot is their passion versus their dreams. So everybody has dreams, you know, that they envision themselves being this when they get older, or they see somebody that they admire and it's like, I want to be like that when I grow up. But being who you are now and seeing all of your work coming to fruition and that you're actively doing something in the community for anybody, do you see the work that you do as a dream that you made come true, or do you see it as a passion?
Honestly, it's crazy you said that, because I have been thinking about that lately. I really feel it's a passion. I really feel it's a passion. One of the main reasons, two reasons popped in my head. For one, I love doing it, and if somebody just asked me at the drop of a dime, wherever I'm at, to just spit a poem, I do it. Like my mom, she did that to me. She put me on blast in Costco in front of this lady she just met and made me bust out the poem Lady Luck, which is talking about going through trials and then you choose to keep fighting to keep winning, and that, you know, life is gonna have those obstacles, but it's still, you still have a choice, whether that is to choose to fight or to choose to not fight, but it's still in you, and you got this. And she made me make this woman cry in this store, and like it was so awkward because people was walking past, and it's like when I do my poetry, I don't just like, I do it the same way, well, almost the same way you see it on the stage. I'm gonna give it to you the same way wherever I'm at. So I'm sitting here acting and moving around, and because that's what I do. I can't stay still when I do my performances. And I found out it was a divine intervention. She was actually a psychologist. She was a psychologist. She went to school. And she was saying that she needed to hear that poem too. So it's like, here this woman is, I'm meeting in Costco. I thought I'd never see her again. And actually, me and her are still cool. Like, we still talk. We still talk about healing the community. And I see that my poetry, you know, it draws in certain people that have been blessing to me. Like, I don't know what I've been to them, but I mean, I've heard things. I'm blessing stuff. I mean, I'm just being humble. I mean, well, whatever they say, like, I appreciate it. I humbly appreciate it. But I definitely, like, they don't even understand how much they have blessed me. Like, they have blessed me so much with just being there at the right time, at the right place, and the way they spoke life into me. So it's like, I know some people, you know, they'll tell me certain things about myself. And that's something I'm learning to work on too, is like how to accept compliments. Because I know I push away compliments, and I be more than humble. I be like downplaying. But it's just, you know, when you write poetry and it's like you be doing it for so long, sometimes you don't really look at what you're doing. Like, you don't look at the influence or how powerful it is or how strong it is. Which is also why I don't watch a lot of my videos that I record of myself, because I be nervous seeing myself. It feels like that. Yeah, like I be nervous to hear my own voice and see myself. And then, you know, once I do it, you know, I be like, whoa, like, dang, I didn't even realize I said this way or did that. And it's like, but I don't see me the way other people see me, because I'm still that little girl that used to bug my family when I was little. And I'm like, hey, I wrote a poem. Look at this. Listen to this. You know, I see me as that kid. You know, still see myself as that kid.
Well, what I can say is that I know you know, you'd be humble about, you know, the situation and about who you are, but at the same time, just like listening to you express these different things is like, I believe and I know that you walking in your purpose, because if you're taking like these opportunities and these chances to create organizations to help other people heal, because you know poetry is a healing factor for you, so being able to share that aspect with other people, that's a blessing, and people need it. You know, like mental health is a big thing, and I know people go to therapy and things like that, but it's just like using art as that outlet, because I feel like there are a lot of creative people in the world, but they just have not found what that outlet is for them. And poetry is a start, but I feel as if you're definitely walking in your purpose, for sure.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And then there was a second part I wanted to say too about the passion part, because it's a not as strong and good of a point, but it's definitely an important point. I realize I'm passionate about it because I've noticed like a lot of people in the poetry community, it's people that like, when I met them, me starting off, that when I took several times to back off, and then I come back and I see that they, you know, leveled up, or they're more popular, or they got more followers, you know, things like that. And it's like, I used to feel like I used to just compare myself. I'm like, dang, you know, I should have kept at it, or dang, I should have been consistent, or I should have been, you know, all these shouldas and couldas and things. But then I realized, like, once I stepped away from doing that, because I feel like, you know, sometimes as poets, we do that. We still artists. You know, we sensitive about our stuff. Like, I forget who said that. Erica Badu, I think. But I'm sensitive about my art. So it's like, when it comes to passion, like, I only want to do it when I'm feeling it. I only want to do it when I'm feeling it. Because then I will give you 1,000%. I don't want to be robotic about it. I don't want to be dry about it. Like, I want to give it my all when I give you my all. And I've noticed like it's been some people I come across that do other forms of like art or whatever they gift is, they blessing, and they can have only 5 videos on their page, but they have a lot of followers or something because they put their best work on there. And it's like, I don't want to be one of those people that's just spamming the page with just I really want to be genuine with it. I want to be intentional about what I'm doing.
For sure. You could put out a lot of stuff, you feel me, but if it's not like quality, then people really not gonna pay attention to it for real.
Yeah, they're not gonna pay attention to it. And it's like, because if it was me, I wouldn't pay attention to it. So it's like, I just look at it like that. I'm like, and I got a lot of good stuff. Sometimes it do be a lot of stuff that's real good that I want to share, but it's like, everything at an appointed time. Everything should be at the right time. It don't have to all be out there like, here it is,
Right.
Because I feel like the time, when I wait till the time, 'cause I got videos and I got a lot of stuff that's like hidden, just waiting, just baking, it's cooking.
Yep. She got bullets in the chamber, y'all.
Man, I got stuff. Oh, I got stuff in the works, and I'm just like, I'll just ask God first. I'm like, look, let me know what you want me to do when you say it's time, and what you want me to do when it's time, and I listen, because I know it's whenever I try to do things my way, it don't be hidden. Like when God tell me to do something, I 100% stand back. Like every time I try to be thirsty and do it my way, and I'm paying money for advertisement, I'm paying it, I'm doing this and that. And it's like, I learned that less is more. So it's like, when I just chill out about it, I pray on it, and I say, okay, God, this is what I'm finna put into the world. Let me see what you're gonna do with it. Let me see how you're gonna let this seed grow. And then I that's when I end up crying a lot. That's when in a good way, happy tears. That's when I have the most best testimonies. And even like those moments where people don't see me. Because like you said, I've been busy. I've been so busy. Like one of the things I did, I talked about my workshop at a university recently. Then I got another university that want me to come over there and talk about the workshop.
Girl.
And then I've been at a church for a World AIDS and HIV awareness. I did some poetry performances there. Like, God been putting me in a lot of places that when I sit down and I think about my dream board, and I think about the stuff that I wanted to do for myself, and then I realized the things God did take and he fulfilled it, and then the new stuff he surprised me with, I'm like, I'm comparing it, I'm like, this way better. Like what he got is way better. So I just keep letting him use me. Like I be telling people like, hey, get out the driver's seat. Let Jesus take the wheel, because he gonna take you some places, boy.
You feel me? Tell me about it.
Man.
I didn't like. I really just got back into like my poetry bag like in April, because like I was so turned off of it for a long time. Like if, like you said, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. But for like I want to say for maybe like 6-8 months, something like that, I just wasn't feeling creative. I wasn't feeling nothing. And it's crazy because I had did an open mic somewhere I've never been. And after the fact, this lady had walked up to me. She was telling me like she liked the poem that I did and things like that. And she told me, she was like, never stop being creative. And I'm like, okay. And I took it and I ran with it. And after the fact, like I was writing things, but something just clicked off for a long time, and I just wasn't feeling it no more. But after like going through some, I'm gonna say traumatic experiences, but just going through like life and just seeing how everything was just maneuvering in front of my eyes. I don't know if I got too comfortable. I don't know if I just forgot who I was for that moment, but everything just started shifting, and I'm like, bro, what is going on? And like after all that started happening, I don't know what clicked, but that pen was hot and it was just coming like left, right. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I was writing poems. I was writing like short little excerpts of just like motivational things, or just like things in life I've experienced, or just giving like, I don't want to say like life tips, but just like trying to use different experiences to like, so that it's like relatable for other people, because you never know what somebody else go through. So if they really be like, oh, I've been through this, or I'm going through this right now, it was just taking my experiences or just things that I've seen or conversations that I've heard, and it's just like now putting it in a written form, and it's like he just started coming from nowhere. It's like when like I'm a heavy firm believer in God, you feel me? And can't nobody tell me that he ain't real, because I know that man is real.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask him to just use me as a vessel, he will do that.
Yeah.
Like, he will, you ask him and he'll be like, okay. He not gonna ask you, are you sure? He just gonna do it.
Yep.
And like, when he get in that driver's seat, boy, he'll take you here, there, and it's like you may go through like low moments where you want to like give up and doubt yourself or whatever the case may be, but you still got faith that even though he in the front seat, like he may be taking you down this dark road and you just can't see nothing, but as long as he's driving, you know, like he taking you to a greater destination. Like I'm just like, I trust you because I don't got nobody else to lean. Like, my faith is my biggest thing. Like, that's something that can never be taken away. And I feel like I was talking on another show, and one of the things they pointed out was like what got slaves through, you know, the situations that, you know, was bestowed upon us is like they faith in God. And it's like the God that's within you as well. Because, you know, if you believe in God, you know that God is in you. How you act and how you maneuver, you know he's operating inside of you. And it's like, that's the truth. Because if I would never believe in him or know that he's within me, I don't know what the heck I'd be doing right now.
Man. Man, because I know what I was doing before him. And man, I be telling, like, it be some people with different walks of life, and they be like, yeah, you know, try this, try that. I'll be like, look, trust me, I done tried it all. I can't even, it's some things, if I was to tell you the things I used to do, the life I used to have, you would look at me crazy. You wouldn't even want to stand next to me. You'd be like, ugh. But if you see how I am now, it would be unbelievable. And that's how God is. He's unbelievable. Like he does so much for us, like, and through us and through people who reach out to us that tell us what we need to hear. Like that lady that told you about your gift, to use your gift. That mean it was time. And that's why you started spazzing with the pen.
Yes. Because I'm like, I have never written that much, like, back to back to back. I'm like, yo, what the heck?
I know. It felt good though, didn't it?
It definitely did. I was talking about so many different things. Like, even some stuff about myself, like I said, or just like having different conversations with people, just life in general, what I've seen, what I've heard. It was just crazy. I'm like, okay, do what you do.
Man,
I'm loving it.
Right.
Man. But I want to ask something of you to close out this show. I was wondering if you can share a poem with us before we go.
Oh, yes. Decisions. Let me see. I'm gonna share something out of my new book because I feel like I really haven't been talking about it as much as I should be. It's that humble thing I was telling you about. Yeah. Like, I be so nervous telling, like, when I don't know, I'm just not like one of those like hustler, like, yeah, you know, I got books on sale, yeah. You know, I don't feel like that. That's how you know I'm old school. I did not just say that. But anyways, but so my last book, Creative Space for Creative Healing, it's an activity book, and this is the first time I put like illustrations and things in there. So I'll pull something from that real quick and read it. And this is an older book about that time, my first one. This was published, the first book about that time, this was published May 2021.
Okay.
This one was, I can't even remember when it was. I think was it just last year? It sure was. Last year, February 20th. That's crazy. Okay. Let me see. Well, what you in the mood for? What you in the mood for? Like, what kind of poem you want to hear?
Let's see. Something that gives light.
Oh, that's so deep and symbolic. Because we actually talking about light in my class right now. That's so creepy and raw at the same time. Let me see. So here's one I wrote. It's called Promoter of Faith. So you know how most people say like devil's advocate? Yeah, that was me trying to be funny about that. Because I didn't like the way it sounded. I'm like, okay, how always people say devil's advocate? So I'm like, nah, it's going to be promoter of faith. That's what that is. And we was just talking about faith. So I think that's why I stood out. So promoter of faith. Beneath your sternum lives a big, beautiful, beating, racing heart, which is good because it means you are alive. Your heart is excited to exist another day. God said yes this morning. This moment is your heart jumping for joy. Your heart doesn't age, it's youthful and aches to do cartwheels because your heart is your inner child. Each pound shows strength, if any. It's your hint that yes, this thing will work out. Your heart is waiting for you to catch up to the blessings awaiting. Heart so charged, you are an electric being, breathing second chances, casting out doubt. Your heart is imploding with overwhelming love, desperate to set free. You don't need to think something's wrong with you. You don't need anxiety and its lies when your heart is the truth. You are not a victim. Seeing that your heart told me you are victorious. That's that piece.
Yes. Nice. I felt it before, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on this episode. I'm super excited, and like I said, we finally made it here.
Yes, we made it.
Yeah. But I understand you've been busy because you out here on your mission, doing your heart's work, and I love that for you. And maybe there'll be some bigger events that you curate yourself, or somebody just be like, hey, how about you come curate your own thing here? And it's just maybe a big arena, maybe a gymnasium. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. Because you out here doing some great things, and I appreciate that you're using poetry as an outlet for others.
Thank you. And I'm a South Sider too, so I definitely got to come back to the South Side. Like, that's where I was born and raised, so I definitely got to do something for my family, where I grew up at.
Yeah. Yes, please come out this way.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, girl, it's time. But